story is such a powerful transmitter. You know, we come from Oregon, in this place called the Rogue River Valley. And near us is this mountain lake called Crater Lake. When the first white people came there, they couldn't believe it. It's the most amazing lake. It's this crystal pure, clear, deep, solid cauldron of stone. And the native people wouldn't go near it. And when they finally found out why, they remembered the name of the mountain that was there before it was a lake. They remembered the explosion of the volcano, which they said was the underground spirit fell in love with this girl in the village, and he burst through the mountain in order to marry her. And she turned him down, and so he rained fire on the village and killed lots of people, and they had to run away. And then the sky god pushed this underground god back into the mountain, and the whole mountain collapsed. And that's what caused Crater Lake. But for them, that's a place of sadness and death. Archaeologically, that happened 7,000 years ago. So from 7,000 years onward, they've been telling themselves this story. Be careful, that's a place of danger and sorrow and death. Don't go near there. And so they never did. That's the power of the stories we tell. And so each one of us has told ourselves a story. And it often happens subconsciously. We're not even aware that we're playing it out with a new partner or a new person, playing out the same story that's been running since you were little.
So my journey so far in this experience of coming here has been quite humbling, to say the least. And, you know, the first night of talking about the lake and that pain of that story, and I just laid in bed and tears just flowed with no story about it, but they just were overwhelming, and there was a softness in that for me. As I look over how I talk to myself, it's really quite brutal and harsh. And the next morning I went on the beach with the dogs, and the hubby walked down the beach, and I just sat and seen that the waves were no different to the ocean, the sun reflecting and the sand on my feet. And I was thinking, wow, where have I been?
That's great.
It was just cool, eh? I was like, I was really in awe with my feet in sand. And then I looked at the I ams that I wake up with. I am the junkie, I am the addict, I am the mother, I am all that. And I am PTSD. I have sat here and gone, they are just words put to a few letters squished together now. I don't even know that world. And I had no idea of what stillness was. Meditation to me was the most excruciating. And I'm thinking, who am I meditating? I felt like there was this, but it's not that. It's just still, you know. And your smile cuts me open, man. Like, seriously. You bust me, man, every time. I was like, what is this? This is like a well of love, man. I'm loving it. I don't even know this place, and I don't even care if I don't go back there because I've experienced it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
That's so
I've experienced
wise.
it.
Welcome home.
Best party ever. And I'm sober.
Yes, it's sober.
I'm sober, Gangaji.
Yes.
Just that.
Yes.
That's the radiance.
Yes.
And, you know, went for a drive with my daughter this morning, and without even speaking to her, you know, and I had the realisation that I had to suffer to show my children that I cared about what happened to them. And I had to suffer, and I would never be happy Oh,
That's brutal. It's
Yeah.
really brutal.
yeah. In sitting with that stillness and her seeing me, she's like, I've never seen you so beautiful, Mum. And I've found my happy ending to my story.
Yes, you have.
Yes. And it's a teaching.
Oh, yes, it's a
It's a
teaching story.
teaching. It's a teaching story. I've stopped. I generally thought the thought of dying would have been easier compared to this racket I've been running. And it's just a racket to keep everything in my addiction, in my story, in my suffering, in my separation from me. And going in deeper,
This is thrilling.
Such
Thrilling.
good news.
Really.
Wow.
Such intelligence.
it's
Such
and
awakening.
I've never done any of your YouTube or nothing. Right, my husband's read one book of yours, and I'm like thinking, oh,
This is
I
from your own experience. That's
Yes.
that's what makes it a teaching for all of us. It's beautiful.
yeah, I've really, really gone there,
Yes.
and
You've gotten it. You didn't learn
got
it.
it.
You got it. Yeah.
it was just the intensity of the love, and for every part of that's brought me to this point.
Yes, it's all been useful.
And
all
isn't it a
comes
great
from love.
movie though? I've had romance, I've had trauma, I've had action, I've had sex, drugs, rock and roll. It's all a great movie.
It is.
And
Because of this, it's a great movie. Otherwise, it's just being beat by a story. But this makes it a
This
great
makes it a
movie.
teaching movie.
yeah, and coming clean, being real,
Yes.
just being real, but not brutally real. Like I've been so prior to this space and these beautiful people that you're probably never going to see again in your life. It's great. Everyone's just going to go fragment out and do their world, and that's going to
Yes.
filter onto others. That whole idea that we all leave here and we touch and be and connect and give and whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah. And if suffering was a full-time job for me, right? I'm currently unemployed.
Yes.
I'm unemployed. And that's okay with me.
Yeah, you quit your job.
Yes. Yeah.
Now there is so much room. So much room.
I feel like I've lost 30 kilos too. Like, I feel really light all of a sudden. This is like, looking in the mirror going, you look hard today. Let's do this. And then I made peace with my brother. He died in April and he was the perpetrator. And I felt like I couldn't grieve or love that man. And as we drove to the beach, I said to my husband, God, it must have been tough in his mind. And he died because he couldn't do what I'm doing. Wow. The love I have for that man that I didn't get to say.
But you are saying.
Yes. Yes. And his suffering, the compassion around his suffering I have. It's overwhelming, And in that forgiving him, I forgave me. And it was pretty yummy, guys. So cheers to what you do.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's been a cracking 4 days, and I'm pretty happy about life. And yeah, that's the end of the story. Okay.